Recording this video on Saturday the 22nd of March 2025, just gone 9:48 p.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So it's the weekend, time for another weekend futures market recap. I go through 15 of the largest futures markets and I show you what I'm seeing on my charts. Do hope you had a good week's trading. I had an excellent week's trading. A couple of small mistakes, did not matter. So I'm pretty pumped for this weekend. Although in terms of big picture and moves, things are not clear. We don't have a bottom yet, I think, in the E-mini. I think a lot of markets are trying to figure out which way to go. Obviously, the changes that the administration are putting through they're getting clearer by the day. In terms of the communication, it was very good this week with some long-form podcasts that were put out that explained exactly what the Trump administration is planning. And they're turning the supertanker around, and it's going to be painful. And I think the market's trying to figure out what is going to happen first, the sequencing. They see directionally where we're going, but it's going to come with some pain initially, and I think that's what the market's reacting to. Anyway, so we'll talk about some charts rather than get into the politics, but if you do want to check out some good communication, put out a tweet on Friday linking to 3 of the podcasts, 1 to Tucker Carlson and 2 to the All In podcast, long form discussions with members of the administration where you can start to really understand what changes are being made and how dramatic they are. So, having said that, let us talk about the E-mini. Here we go. We're on the daily chart, and in terms of the left-hand side, we've got the volume patterns with better momentum and better pro-am. You can see we have blue professional down bars into the low and an exhaustion sell pattern down here. We have trailed the stop up. This is good. This is good. It means that we had, just like here and here, we had lows being made on blue professional bars, and some of them coming with exhaustion patterns as well. And so that's why that low that we put in is super important. But we always need to test these things, and when we go to lower time frame charts, we haven't quite made it all the way yet. We are being held by support on the intermediate time frame. Here we go. We busted through support in the lowest time frame. We've been caught by this support in the highest time frame, and it's always fascinating to me how often the SR3, so this is the resistance level on the highest time frame, how resistance becomes support. That level has been so important over the last year and a half, and that's where we chose to bounce at that point. 135-minute charts, we come down. There are exactly 3 135-minute bars in a day session of the E-mini. That's why we choose it. And here, yes, big pro bars coming in here. So all the blue professional bars down into the lows. The background's in blue as well, so that means super high average trade size. It has not come with exhaustion sell, a bullish divergence, and so on. All of those patterns happened over here. So in terms of momentum down here, people were buying into those lows. That's what you see with that momentum, volume momentum read going up, which is fascinating. And then down here at the lows, yes, here we go. We're bouncing off this support in the highest time frame, but we have to put in pullback to end of trend here, and we've just put in a little bit of a bounce over the last day, and I don't think that's enough. I think we're going to have to come down and put in an end of trend there. Then we're going to have to tackle resistance on the intermediate time frame, because this is quite a long way away. If this were closer to this level down here, we just put in a small little pullback to end of trend, we would have 3 support levels relatively close together down here on the lowest time frame, and the intermediate one may be sitting around here, and that would be a nice level where everything comes together. But because it's so far away, that means we're going to have to go through another resistance to support on that intermediate time frame. So this is going to take some time to work itself out. But that's all good. There'll be good trading opportunities long and short along the way. Now, when we go down to the 45-minute chart, here we go. You can see these big pro bars came in 2 weeks ago. And down here at the lows, we have no blue professional bars down here. These moves up into these highs, amateur bars. So that's weak into that move. Here's the pullback to end of trend that we're trying to play out. We've got a little bit of strength here on Friday's activity. But this has got to wrap around and go back down and find blue professional bars, because the trailing stop here on better pro-am is just miles away. So we've got to find a blue professional bar somewhere in order to trail this down and reverse that trend eventually when it gets broken. 15-minute chart, and again, so here we go. 2 weeks of activity, no blue professional bars. The last ones we saw were 3 weeks ago. And effectively, it's a Rambo to Rambo channel. So Rambo stands for a potential reversal of an amateur breakout, and it means that the amateurs' low average trade size activity is moving the market. And so there's the extreme down here. This is being led by the amateurs down here into the lows. They got wrong-footed. market reverses, goes the other way, and lo and behold, they have to get out of their positions and are also choosing to go long at this point here. Again, amateur up bars, Rambo patterns, it's weak. We test back into that this week, bang, right at those levels, we reverse and go the other way. So that's a Rambo to Rambo channel, so the amateur's just getting wrong-footed. And again, the trailing stop better parameters are miles away. We've got to go see some blue professional bars, and it's been a while since we've had a decent read on better momentum down here, so might look for some extremer or bigger read on better momentum and some blue professional bars to come in. So that could be something that we see this week. At the moment, pullback resistance is in here at that level. We've had a little bit of strength right there. I mean, we could push through this and then come back down again, or we could just fade first thing on Monday and just go down and test those lows, but I have to wait and see. Lastly, tick bar chart, which gives us all of the day and night activity and gives us a little bit of a better read. It's pretty complicated now with this last 2 weeks activity because it's a big range that we've been moving between, but we've just been batting backwards and forwards. So when I look at my charts, like the first thing I want to understand is the background in blue, the big pro bars. Where are they and what are they doing? So obviously down here last week, they were buying that low. Exhaustion buy, getting the move going, bang, explosive into the close. So Thursday and Friday, continuation on Monday morning. Then we came back up. I mean, this one was mid sequence at that point, but then here, as soon as we topped out, there's big pro bars getting in, getting short. So we're in a downtrend on the 13,500 tip bar chart. The background's in grey. We're under the trailing stop on better pro-am. Yes, we're having a little bit of strength at the moment, but we haven't seen any blue professional bars or exhaustion patterns at the lows. So how we make that next move down, I don't know. Are we going to come back up to the 5780 type level and then trick people thinking that the market's strong, we're going to make new highs, and then trick people and go short? Or are we just going to fade straight away on the Sunday? We'll wait and see, but at the moment we are weak and I'm expecting another leg down to find those big professional bars, or pro bars at least, and trail the better prime stop on those charts. In terms of cyclical patterns, yeah, we're just batting backwards and forwards between cyclical highs and lows. So we're in a range at the moment. Yes, we got some big releases this week. I think we've got GDP, I think we've got CPI, so those will be important. I'm going to show you this chart first. This is the daily chart of 10-year bonds. And so this is back to 2022. So we've got 3 years of activity here. So this is when they dramatically raised rates, and so we have a massive, one of the biggest bear markets in bonds, bang, over the course of 2 years. And we're down here at these lows trying to find a bottom. The last move we had at the beginning of the year, the Rambo patterns in those lows, and we bounced from there. Background's in grey. So technically we're in a downtrend. Last time we had, September time, we had big pro bars into those highs. We fail, we turn around, and we're in a downtrend here. But we have exhaustion buy, we have professional bars, and the background's in blue, so that's super high average trade size, big pros going in there. What are they doing? Now, typically when you want to reverse a market, it's like the professionals here, they'd move it up sharply and then get short. They'd move it up sharply like this and then get short. Here, they didn't do that. We've been stuck in a range here. And that, to me, looks more like what I call a gathering pattern, which is just waiting and waiting, busting out of that range higher, I would expect. This important level that we're playing with at the moment. But are we going to come down and then come back up through there? I just don't know. But that is serious activity over the last 2 weeks, with the bond market trying to figure out what the Fed's going to do, what are rates going to do. So just want to draw your attention to that. While we're at it, here's the tick bar chart, 9,000 tick bar chart of 10 years, and this is the activity this week. Not much going on at all. These vertical yellow lines at the beginnings and the ends of the week, that was the week prior. So it's the tick bar chart. The length of this between these shows the total amount of activity during that trading week. This week, there was very little indeed. Yes, into those lows, exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, big pro bars coming, and we rally from there. So this is more like getting the move going, and we're strong at the moment. We've just had blue professional bars, big pro bars, again, the end of the week, come in there. So let's wait, see if we get a bounce in bonds at that point there, and we rally, break out of those highs. But it's not clear cut at the moment yet on bonds, and if bonds break out higher, that means rates are coming down, which is interesting. So here we go. This is the picture on the euro 1500 tip bar chart. This is this week's activity, last week's activity. We had super strong move on the euro up to 110. We had big pro bars coming at those highs. We started to weaken, and then we tested back up into that region. Bang, tripped better pro-am just momentarily, and then broke back down into a downtrend. We are in a downtrend in the euro. Backgrounds in grey, no blue professional bars, no significant ones at the lows. Here they gamed it up. That was almost like a killing fields pattern eventually when they broke through. Here that was a strong move on Friday when we broke down here to 108, almost 80. Down at the lows. But anyway, no blue professional bars, no exhaustion sell to mirror this move. So we're still in the downtrend on the euro. British pound is rolling over. So this is last 2 weeks activity again. Look at the strength. We had this setup down here, big pro bars coming beginning of March, and then we just rallied for 2 weeks really strong in, well, 1 week and a bit on British pound, and we're topping out at the moment, and these new highs have been made by Rambo patterns, but it's the strongest of the lot of all the Forex contracts, and so it's taken a while to roll over, whereas the euro took a dive this week, but we're just starting to roll over into a downtrend here on British pound. But let's see what happens here. We've had big pro bar or professional bars coming at the lows on Friday, and we're starting to rally, so we could rally back up again on British pound if we break through this trailing stop. We'll have to wait and see. Aussie dollar, again, Aussie dollar had a nice week the week prior, topped out, came off. It was the weakest of the lot, and then these highs were made at the beginning of the week. Look at this whole series of Rambo patterns, all the way up to 64, being led by the amateurs, and then the professionals come in, bang, and we collapse. Retrace, led by the amateurs, weak, and we collapse. Professional bars coming at the end of Friday, so we'll wait and see. It's not a classic pattern. They didn't come in here on the lows or here on the lows. They gamey it up a little bit. But anyway, so the Aussie dollar is weak, euro's weak, British pound, don't know. So that means the US dollar is strong, which would suggest that the rates are going to stay high. So I don't know, and we'll have to wait and see what the CPI number comes out with. Japanese yen, this is a messy chart. Whoops, let's do that again. Show this. This is this week's activity with the yellow vertical line at the beginning of the week. Yes, bought the low down here. We tested and tested. Big pro bars come in here, bullish divergence, and we rally. And then here at the moment, they come in here and they trade down. And this on this retrace, big pro bars selling it short at that point. The market's weak. So the Japanese yen looks weak at the moment. Background's in grey. And a lot of professional activity, catching it here and then selling it down and then selling down the retrace. So it doesn't look good for the Japanese yen. 10 years, well, we talked about that, so let's move on. Gold, fabulous. So we got up to 3,000 and we kept on pushing higher this week. What did we reach? 3,060. But I'm wary because of these big pro bars here leading into that move. Yes, we've got a little bit of a stair-step trade happening here with blue professional bars stepping in, pushing it up. Maybe it's got to go to see blue professional bars at the highs and then roll over from those, but it's been a strong move. I'm wary to jump into gold. Silver definitely turning this week, so this is the beginning of the week. Come back up, blue professional bars at the highs, we weaken, backgrounds in grey, we're in a downtrend. The little retrace that we had led by amateur bars, yellow bars up into that move, and so we're heading down at the moment on silver. A couple of blue professional bars come in here. Let's see, silver's weak at the moment. It's got to break through 34 before that changes around. Bitcoin, now Bitcoin again, look at this, not much activity this week at all, and this is the weekend's activity and not active at all. So yes, at lows 78, exhaustion sell, big pro bars come in here, the background's in blue, we've rallied from there, but we couldn't get going. At the moment we're having a little bit of stair-step trade there. So no, we're possibly rolling over to test 80 again on Bitcoin. I have to wait and see. So that's a shame. Crude. Now crude, I thought that we had a little bit of a stealth pattern here with blue professional bars at the lows at 65, and so we did start off the week pretty strong, but we ended up with an exhaustion buy pattern. Then we sold off. Professional bars stepped in again, exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, and they rocketed forward again. So it's junky at the moment, but here blue professional bars into those highs up here at 68.5, and it's starting to roll over. So we could see a down move in crude at the moment. So let's wait and see if that rolls this week. Natural gas, what did it do this week? A lot of activity this week. Came up to $4.30 and we're in a downtrend at the moment. Exhaustion sell, no blue professional bars here at the lows yet. Copper standout all the way up to $5.12 up at the highs. What a move, just extraordinary, and it just kept on powering ahead and ahead. Last week we didn't have the blue professional bars taking profits at the highs. They stepped in at this point here with an exhaustion and sell pattern, and then the move just kept going. But it has had blue professional bars into those highs, Rambo pattern, sign of weakness, and we're rolling over exhaustion buy at that point. So let's see if we crash through $5, people taking profits in copper this week. And corn was nice this week, set up with blue professional bars at the lows down here, broke out of that move, bang, into exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, amateur bars at that point, and we've weakened from there. But that was a move that was started out of here, so I'd look for this to hold at some point here, blue professional bars to step in and have another rally phase on corn. Soybeans, similar type pattern down here at the lows, started to strengthen, blue professional bars at the lows. So at the moment it's undecided, the background's in black, so it's above better pro-am, which is good, but it's not switched on to better sine wave yet. So let's wait. That's good. Big pro bars down here, so let's see if we turn the background red and we get a continuation of this trend in soybeans. And lastly, wheat had a nice week, set up from this low down here a couple of weeks ago, but topped out a little bit, exhaustion buy, bearish divergence. It's in a downtrend at the moment, just bouncing off Rambo patterns. Again, follow the blue professional bars whenever they pop in, find out what they're doing, just go with them, don't overthink it too much. So there we go. Good luck with your trading this week.